So these past 4 weeks, I have not been doing my typical coverage of The Penguin. I really haven't talked about this show at all, minus a couple times in other videos just talking about how I like the show. And with the recent 4th episode, I think it might be one of the best shows on right now, if not the best. This show is just of such a high quality and caliber that yes, I'm going to be talking about it every week from now on until the finale, because people who've gotten to see the finale already say it sticks the landing, and this show has just been flat out incredible. So this one won't be like your typical breakdown, and this one I just want to talk about how great the show is and why it's so important that this show is good. And I also just want to dive into what this show does so well versus what other shows have been doing recently in the whole superhero genre. Before we get started, we're on the road to 5,000 subs. If you could hit that subscribe button and also leave a like, that would help me out so much. Also leave a comment down below of your thoughts on The Penguin so far, because I read every single one and I most likely will respond. Now let's briefly talk about why this show is so good.
I'm Spider-Man.
For starters, I made a reaction video with this trailer not too long ago before the show came out, and I was excited, but I wasn't extremely hyped for it. I really did love Matt Reeves' Batman, and I actually rewatched that movie in preparation for this show. I love how The Penguin takes place right after that, and is also building on the world elements of Gotham that were present in the Batman movie. It's not just little Easter eggs. This world feels lived in. It feels like there's actual characters living their normal lives, especially with Oz's driver, Vic. We get to see his perspective of what happened with the Riddler and the flooding of Gotham, and it puts a completely different perspective on those events. Not only that, but the characterization of Oz, the Penguin himself, is crazy, because in my personal opinion, the Penguin has never been an A-list Batman villain. He's always been that villain that Batman uses to get information. He does that in the Matt Reeves Batman movie. But here they're telling a story about a villain, making it compelling, but not turning the villain into a hero per se. I feel like that was something people were really worried about, is having the Penguin kind of turn into a sympathetic character. And while you do feel bad for him with the things that have happened to him and his whole situation, he's not a good guy still. They're not trying to turn him into the good guy. I think they're trying to do that with another character, and that of course leads us into the 4th episode with Sofia Falcone. Building the Falcones and fleshing out that backstory off the tales of the Batman is incredible. And while she is technically the co-lead of this season now because of this episode that we just got, which was completely phenomenal, I loved it so much, it's interesting seeing how a lot of people are now not rooting for the Penguin, which they were originally, and now rooting for Sofia. This feels like a very polished HBO drama show, which it is. Each episode so far has been around the 1 hour mark, with some episodes even being longer. And not to draw huge comparisons, but we have Agatha All Along, which I'm really enjoying, but this show, on the other hand, Penguin, is just completely different. As I've said, and you guys can watch my videos, I'm loving Agatha so far, but we have to look at the facts here. The Agatha show has episodes that are 25 to 30 minutes long without credits, and then we have the Penguin with episodes over an hour. Both of these shows are based around villainous characters, and we see Agatha kind of pushing the boundaries with what Disney Plus has been doing in terms of mature content, and then we have the Penguin, which is going full out rated R HBO series, and having that hard edge to it, having the violence, having the language, having all of these elements makes this mature series seem lived in, makes the world feel alive. Yes, there are little Easter eggs here and there to different characters in the Gotham Batman DC universe, but I care so much about the characters being presented in their own stories that I don't really need that stuff. It's all supplementary. For example, the latest episode takes place in Arkham Asylum, and while I was watching this, I was like, oh, who are we going to see? But at the same time, I didn't feel disappointed that we didn't get any huge crazy cameos. We know that Matt Reeves cut the Joker out of the Batman movie and only left him in that one little scene, that way he didn't detract from the main story going on. What I like most about this is it feels the same as the Batman movie. The tensions are high, the drama is there, and the characters themselves are really carrying this whole show. There's so much talk, and I can't say that I disagree that the actors and actresses in this show should already be considered for Emmy nominations. If you're not watching this show, I really recommend it, even if you're not a superhero show movie fan. And I say this being someone who has a best friend who is anti-Marvel, anti-superhero, and now he's watching this show, seeing how great it is, and he really likes it, and I'm like, dude, you see what you're missing? Now, I'm not saying every Marvel show or DC show is like this, but this is allowing people who are fans of crime dramas or The Sopranos or old old school TV shows on HBO to get into this world. And I think that's really, really cool. I'm so impressed, and I'm so glad that Matt Reeves is leading this series into the Batman Part 2, and I cannot wait to see where this goes in the end. People who have seen it said it does stick the landing greatly. Maybe one day, Warner Brothers, maybe one day I can get these episodes early. But yeah, that being said, I wanted to let you guys know that I've been waiting to make videos on this because I wanted to make sure that this was something that I wanted to cover. It is more mature. I haven't really done too much DC stuff, but I couldn't hold back after this amazing episode with Sofia Falcone and where this series is going. It's intriguing, it's dramatic, the characters are really interesting, and I'm all in. Again, guys, let me know down below what you think about this show in the comments. I read every single one. I most likely will respond. I will be covering every episode moving forward. I can't wait to watch it, and I will see you all very soon.